Hey, I'm Susan. This is my husband, Brooks.
Hi.
We wanted to spend a rainy day making videos of ourselves. I'm just kidding. We want to do the leadership bonus plan and explain it to you because it can be confusing. That's why we have made so many videos. Just because, like, I'll ask him a dumb question. He's like, we need to start over. So, anyways, there are no dumb questions. We love your questions, and I'm going to kind of run some by Brooks as he's explaining this and help you understand what your personal volume needs to be and what your group volume needs to be for you to be getting the awesome bonus checks from LuLaRoe. So go ahead.
Okay, yeah, so wanted to point out that LuLaRoe does provide a document that explains the leadership bonus plan. It's in the back office under assets. You can find it there. I do recommend you read that. It does generate some questions when you read it, so we're hoping that this helps clarify some of those. But please also use that as a resource. So, to get started, we are going to talk about the first level in the bonus plan is the sponsor. So, what a sponsor is, when you start with LuLaRoe, you are a fashion consultant. If you recruit someone onto your team, then you're a sponsor. So this diagram here actually shows that you've recruited two personally sponsored consultants, and we refer to those as directs on your first line. To get your bonus check as a sponsor, you need to order at least 175 items for that calendar month, and so that you can receive the 5% bonus on whatever your directs order. So their personal volume, whatever they pay to LuLaRoe for the orders that they put in, then you're going to get 5% of that.
It's pretty straightforward.
Yeah, pretty straightforward. The next level in the plan is trainer. Gets a little more complicated. As I'm talking, Susan's going to be drawing and changing things up to kind of help explain things as we go. So the first requirement for trainer is that you personally sponsor 3 directs. And that is at least 3. It could be more. It's kind of obvious. And then the next requirement is that you have a total team of 10. So 10 people on your team other than you. So that's 10. Okay. It could be 10 anyway. You could have 10 directs. You could have 5 directs and then 5 others below you. But it's just 10 total. So the next requirement is your volume requirements. And we got personal volume and group volume. So for the group volume, it is 1,750 items. So this whole team here, all these 10 people, if you add up all their personal volume, it needs to be 1,750 items total.
But your volume doesn't count towards that. Your personal volume.
Yeah, it's just those 10 people on your team to get that group volume. 10 or more, and it could be above that. So personal volume is the next requirement, and that's what you need to order. 250 items is the base requirement, but if you have directs that order at least 175 items, LuLaRoe will subtract 50 from your personal requirement. So Susan's showing 2 now, and that's dropped it down 100 down to 150.
We had a question this week. If you had someone in your second line order 175, does that help you? It doesn't help you. It helps you. But it doesn't help you lower your
personal volume requirements.
So if your third trainer did it, then you're down to 100. You can't go below 100 though.
Mm-hmm. So it's really important for you to keep track of that so that you know what you need to order in order to qualify for your bonus check. It's also important for you to try to keep track of your group and what they're ordering so you can get an idea if you're meeting your group requirements. Okay. What's next?
You're talking about the money.
Oh yeah, okay. So if you make these requirements, if you qualify, then you're eligible for additional bonuses on top of the 5%. you now can get 3% on everyone that's not a direct below you on your team. So, 3% of anything that they order. In addition to that, you get a point in the leadership bonus pool. So, what that is that LuLaRoe will set aside 2% of revenues for that month, and you
divide it up.
Yes, and you get a point in that pool. So what they do is they take all of the points for everyone in LuLaRoe, and they divide that into the total amount of money in the pool, and it usually comes out to about $500 to $600 per point. So it's a great benefit.
One situation. Oh, what were we going to say?
No.
Well, what the major situation we're going to talk about is, we've had some people say like, "Oh, somebody's breaking trainer under me. Is that a good thing?" Yeah, it's fabulous. Like, it's great.
Yeah, I mean, we've heard concerns. Someone might say, "Oh, I'm worried. A member of my team is going to make trainer. I think my check's going to go down." And I think what that means is that they're worried that they're not going to have enough volume overall to make the group volume and requirements and the team number requirements after someone breaks off their team. So what Susan's drawing now is an example. Let's say this person right here has been growing, and now they've made trainer. They're on your team. So what that does to the requirements is like they graduate from your team. So the 10 people on their team, not them, you'll always get their everything that direct orders counts towards your group volume. But the 10 people on their team, they no longer count to your team numbers or your team volume because they've kind of graduated to that trainer's team. So the 3% also changes.
It's still happening here.
Yeah.
But for this girl's team,
yeah,
you're making 1% on their purchase.
Yeah. So that you get 1% of their personal volume instead of the 3%.
Mm-hmm.
So when you think about this, if you're a new trainer and someone on your team is growing fast as well, you're both kind of growing together. So you may, get a good sizable bonus check from them before they become trainer. But when they drop off, you may not have
the volume. It's like all these people are not part of your volume. So here's your volume.
Yeah. So you may not have the 10. Since you can't count these, you may not have the 10, and you may not have the 1,750 to qualify. So, you wouldn't get your trainer bonus if that happened to you. But it's definitely it's a good thing to have trainers on your team. It's just something that's kind of naturally happens as you're growing. So.
And you just want to focus on growing wide and then helping your directs build teams, and that will help with volume issues too. Another good thing happens though when you have a trainer on your team.
Yeah, you get if you make the qualifications as a trainer. Let me clarify that. This 1% and the additional bonus pool point that you get for this trainer, that you only get that if you also qualify for trainer.
Yeah. But so you skipped over that. If she makes trainer, you get another point in the pool.
Yeah. So you get a point for yourself. You get a point for this person that made trainer. But you also have to meet those requirements, those trainer requirements, in order for that to happen.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's about it.
This is a pretty straightforward view. So if you have questions or your tree doesn't look like this, that's totally okay. Feel free to reach out to us and let us walk you through,
Yeah, let us know if you have any questions. We're happy to answer other ones. We were kind of keeping this basic for this video.
Yep.
We're also going to do a video on coach, which is the next level up from trainer.
Probably not today.
Yeah. So, all right, thanks.